All right, a quick little intro. I recorded a bunch of video today, literally a bunch, over about 5 or 6 service calls. The beginning of this video, I've just left a ductless mini split Fujitsu service call where he's complaining about once in a blue moon a smell coming from the indoor evaporator, the indoor unit. So this is what I do for him. Well, that one was easy. He's concerned about a little smell on his ductless system. I saw the filters are dirty and he can use, a little bit of evaporator coil spray. I've been servicing him for many years, and I just gave him a can of evaporator coil spray cleaner, the no rinse one by New Calgon. And I said, here you go. It's a gift from Mikey Pipes. And he goes, nah, come on, let me pay for it. Like, you drove over here. I was like, nah, trust me, you don't understand. I was in Great Neck. You're in Floral Park. I'm on my way to Franklin Square. I've been coming here for years. You've been good for, helping us out. We appreciate your continued business. It's a small token of my appreciation. Here's a can. Let me know how this works out for you. If it doesn't, we'll dig deeper into this and, we'll take the system apart, clean out everything, use the miniature power washer, and take care of business. And he was very appreciative. I was like, listen, in exchange, just give me a Google review, And he goes, bet, definitely. I'm like, all right. All right, we're on our way to a YouTube subscriber's home, the first of 2. I think we're going to his parents' house after this. But I was doing, I believe, general maintenance. It says the air conditioner's not cooling right, so we'll see what's going on. All right, stay tuned. It's 9:15. Get in the car.
Sitting here with the cigar.
I am. I'm actually making another montage today. You like the red hat? So I got a lot of negative hate on that. So again, I don't want to be political about anything. So it was a thumbnail of the video. So I just changed it. It's all good. Listen, it's America. It's a free country. Everyone could do as they wish. So like I said, preventative maintenance here. I'm going to take off the covers. We're going to take a look at the coil, the blower. I'm going to cut a union in on the 3/4 inch PVC drain line. That end like this. That way, for future, you just break the union, blow out both sides. Easy peasy.
Oh, it's funny. You were in Boca?
Yes.
I was down there with my parents.
Really?
Yeah, they live in... I was laughing because I got into land and I see on the phone notification, get out of here.
Of course. It's me.
Everybody's down there.
Yeah. Meisner Park?
It's not far from there. My son loves going there because he likes to go.
Feels a little loose here. Let's see.
I did show him the plan.
Oh, look at this. It's not even... They didn't glue it in. Look at that.
The last time they came,
They didn't glue it in. So let me take this out. I'm going to throw some primer on there. And we'll put the union right here. I hope. Yeah, will this fit there?
right off Boulevard. Right
It's not going to fit. Oh, yeah? So you sit on a Sunday afternoon having a cigar and...
No, usually Monday nights.
Monday nights?
Last night. Boy Scouts, my son. He added Mikey Pipes to the list of...
That's cool. What other guys you watch?
Love Odell.
Odell? Who's that?
Odell Construction. He's a California mason.
Oh, yeah?
If I could hire this guy here, oh my God, you're going to see the work he does. Odell, look him up.
Interesting. Never heard of him.
Beautiful concrete work. So, a lot of guys, it's hard to find.
Of course.
Everybody does pavers, driveways. They never really come out though.
No, it's hard to find a good quality mason.
This guy's amazing. You gotta see his work. They're not gonna help us.
Let me get this on there quick. get that water out. Let's get this done right there.
Yeah, my in-laws heat that was working great.
Yeah, you had the bed.
You would, the other Mike spent like a whole day on that job. That stupid low water cutoff. Had I touched that, I probably would have picked up on it.
Yeah.
I never thought to touch it.
Yeah, you had the phantom low water cutoff.
I had the diagram like you did, like voltmeter.
Yep. All right, I'm gonna blow this out. I got the drain gun by Diversitech. You guys see that?
I mean, what that Navi and stuff's crazy.
Oh, you're following that too?
Yeah, you know, my friends, we have a big debate because one friend swears when he wants to get what he's convincing.
Listen, if you asked me 6 months ago, I would have told you the best thing since sliced bread.
I'm like Stephen Lab. I say keep it simple.
Exactly.
I said just get an 80% first. I mean, you know,
Blow
Coil.
that
How's
out.
it been, though? I worry about you.
Don't worry about me.
You're a little fishy.
I am a little fish, but let me tell you something. I am not gonna back down. I'm not.
But you got legitimate reason.
I have a legitimate reason in my belief.
That is insane. I cannot believe that. So it happens to be what GM with you.
And that's how you do that. So now we're gonna take a peek inside this air handler. All right, 10. Run cap for the fan. Fan looks pretty decent. Nice and, yeah, a little bit of dirt on there. Not too bad. All right, let's take some of these bad boys. I love these. See? Pan treatment by New Calgon. Prevents overflows and water damage. Take a handful. Just throw them in there. Throw them in there. And as the condensate drips into the pan, the good stuff happens. See, it's a good way of explaining it. All right, let's test this capacitor. Let me get my multimeter out using the Fluke 101, and let's test this. Just make sure it's discharged. Good. Now, let's take our voltmeter. Give me a second, guys. It's hard being one-handed Mikey Pipes. There you go. You see it right there. Take our meter, one side to the other. So we're at a little under 9. And my rule of thumb is 10, sometimes 20%, but it's not a bad idea to swap out this single capacitor. All right. See that? It's a 10, but it's a little under 9. Hold on. So let me tell you about this real quick. I'll tell you about this first. So this is called a run capacitor. Motors have this. Okay. So for example, in your outdoor condensing unit, you have, what most people have is a dual capacitor. Okay. You have part of the capacitor gives the fan what it needs, and the other part gives its compressor what it needs. Okay. When these go bad, the system does not know that, and it's still going to apply power to that motor. Okay. So for example, if the capacitor on the compressor side goes bad, the compressor could overheat, not turn on, and then it goes into thermal lockout. Okay. That's when you take a water hose and spray it down for like 20 minutes. With a motor, like a blower motor or a condenser fan motor, you can actually damage the internal windings of the motor itself. Okay. And I've replaced many dual capacitors for a condenser fan motor. Okay. And like the next day, next week, next month, the fan is not dead. So since yours was 8.94, it's a great idea to replace it, which we're going to do. Okay. I love the hat, by the way. I should say 2024, by the way.
We're working on it.
All right. All in a day's work, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let me pop this bad boy out. I got my Milwaukee Fuel. Oh, we're not going to fit in there because you're too close to it. Ooh. So let's get this one out, this bad boy. If I climb. Ooh, you still don't want to go in there, huh? Okay. I just took my needle nose and like pry it in there just to push over that strap. You got the cap out. See? There's the 10. And there's the new one. All right. The capacitor's in place. I checked the amperage. It's good. Let's get the cover on and head on outside. One-handed mic strikes again. Always put all the screws back in. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy.
You can't search for it.
Okay, 0 degrees, no subcooling. Actually, 0 degrees of subcooling. But we have a 32.8 degree evaporator coil. There's our low, our system pressures, temperatures. But no subcooling. You got a TXV.
Did you see it up there? I don't even know what they put in.
What do you mean? You know what they put in?
I took a picture of it.
So there's my low side smart probe, high side smart probe, low side temperature clamp, high side temperature clamp. We already checked the dual capacitor. She's good. And as they say, it's a suction line is beer can cold, but she could be better. She could be better. It's about 80 degrees out right now. 73 inside. My Testo 605i. An outdoor ambient temperature of 77 degrees. Relative humidity of 50. No, I'm sorry. This is my temperature. That's my wet bulb. It was in the sun for a little bit. See? So it's hot. Let's move that out of the way. Is that 250? That's 19. Let that temperature come down. It is hot. Let's go see what our indoor temperatures are and wet bulb is. All right, thermostat is reading 73. We're set for 65. I want to go upstairs and let's sit here for a bit. Cool off. It's schwitzing like a mamzer up there, by the way. And I'm gonna stick that right there. It's magnetic, it's nice. And then let's give that a few minutes and see what my wet bulb is, and we'll refer to the charts. But he does have a TXV, and that means he needs 10 degrees of subcooling. It's end of the day, 8 to 12, somewhere in that range. You need that 10 degrees. So this one is obviously undercharged and likely due to a system refrigerant leak. System was installed in 2008. And I'm not saying replace it right now, but if you got a leak on the evaporator coil, yeah, I guess we can get a new evaporator coil. If you have a leak on the outdoor condensing unit, best to just replace the equipment. So after 5 minutes, you're 72.1 degrees with a wet bulb of 61.7 degrees, and we have 56% relative humidity. So now we can look at the chart. No, you're good. So 69 PSI low side, 167 high side. Evaporator coil, 34 degrees. But we have no degrees of subcooling. So technically she's undercharged. Technically. But she works. She works. All right. At my next service call. Customer's complaint. Thermostat set for 69. It's reading 72. Outdoor ambient temperature, OAT, 89 degrees. 62% humidity. Let's see what's going on with this refrigerant. Thanks, Kev. Oh, that was loose. Both loose. Ooh, I really should throw this out. But I like Kev's tool because I had a small adjustable crescent wrench, but I lost it. Blame it on Kelvin. Alright, make sure our pressures are at 0 before we get started. Make sure the valves on this 4-valve manifold are closed, and we're going to hook up the first hose, the low side. We got the low loss fittings on there. Just going to purge a little bit of the air out, just like that. High side, red hose is going to go right there. And I can tell you right away, it's probably undercharged. That on there. Okay. Wasn't expecting that so high there, but let's hook up our clamps. She's not beer can cold. Let's hook up our clamps and take some temperature readings. Alright, 9, 10. Stick you on there. Let's get the other one. Turn that one on as well. Wait till that turns green. There we go. Stick that on the liquid line. Let's let that sit for a minute. While we're letting that sit for a minute, let's look for that. Let's see what it says here. We have 11 plus or minus 3 degrees design cup subcooling. So anywhere from 8 to 14 is good. So let's see if we're at 11 degrees of subcooling. 410A system came charged with 7 pounds, 4 ounces, or 3.28 kilograms for all of you people who aren't on the Imperial system. Alright. Train, Allegiance 15. Let that sit for a bit. Alright, I'm back. I just recorded my outro for today's Navian. It's a perfect opportunity for me to let the system run, get some temperatures on the Testo 557S. So let's see what we're looking at. At the end of the day, 3.8 degrees, 3.7 degrees of subcooling. That needs to be almost 10 degrees more. Well, actually, was it 11 or 13 it said? Anyway, at least 9 degrees more. They need refrigerant, which means they have a leak. And if they have a leak, that means it's not going to go away. Let me show you what I write on my invoices. I have a disclaimer now. Let me show you that. So this is the form that we use on our iPad that gives the customers, you know, the 5 scenarios or 5 options in writing, which they sign. Feel free to pause here. Feel free to pause there as well. Okay.
Hey.
Okay.
Okay.
So the system is undercharged.
Oh, okay.
That means you have not enough refrigerant in the system for it to properly cool.
Okay.
Which means you have a leak, unless someone took it out. Well, unless it was never charged properly to begin with.
No idea. Yeah.
Well, it's probably a leak. It's
Right,
common,
okay.
unfortunately. There's a few options.
Okay.
I could show you our disclaimer, which we do now, or I can give you your options. Option number 1, we could do an electronic leak detection test. It's
Okay.
time consuming, and there's no guarantee we're going to find the leak.
Okay.
By the way, there's no guarantee on anything we'll find the leak unless we actually tear the whole system apart.
Got it.
I'll just call a spade a spade. So option number 1, electronic leak detection. Option number 2, we add more refrigerant, instant gratification, have a nice day.
Okay.
Option number 3, we can add a sealant to the system with no guarantee it's going to work, but sometimes it does. Option number 4, we could do a nitrogen test where we suck out all the refrigerant you have in the system. We isolate the parts of the system and come back 24, 48 hours and see where the pressure dropped. In the interim, you have no air conditioning on that zone.
That's not happening right now.
Option number 5, you replace the system.
Okay. I don't think my husband wants to replace the system right now. This is really...
I hear you.
Yeah.
All right. I just want to disconnect the power. I want to make sure that it's this one. balance out. Make sure that that equals out first before we proceed. Let's make sure there's no funky stuff going on, frozen coil, stuff like that. All right, been sitting on this for about 5 minutes. We're slowly getting back to normal, equal pressures. Very, very slowly, but 5 minutes it took to get to this point. We're almost equalized. Once it's equalized, I already purged out the air from the charge hose to there. I'm going to zero out my scale, and I'm going to charge this thing up slowly, like at half a pound at a time. Alright, almost equal. Let me get your thoughts and feedback as to why it would take about 8 minutes for these pressures to equalize. Let me get your thoughts and feedback down in the comment section down below. Alright, let's keep an eye on that for another minute and start charging. Alright, so a lot of you guys, I'm going to get a lot of troll and a lot of hate on this, but 5 pounds of R410A. Yep, let me show you. 5 pounds. There it is. Dead on the money right there. And I'm not going to recommend sealant on the system. That is just too great of a leak. He also told me he added refrigerant to it last year. And I said, listen, there's the line set. Goes inside the house. It goes all the way up to the top floor. There's 2 air handlers up there. So I am going to add ultraviolet dye to the system and we'll wait and see what happens. You know, I just really stress the fact that there's a leak, it's not going to go away. Eventually you're going to replace the system. Eventually. Yes, maybe it'll be in the evaporator coil and we can replace the evaporator coil, and eventually another leak will develop. But it's just the nature of the beast, you know, it is what it is. We come across leaks all day long as HVAC professionals. It is what it is. All right, let me add the dye and then wrap it up here. All right, 5 pounds, 410A. I really dislike using the ultraviolet dye, but the system is a little over 10 years old. You know, that outdoor coil on those trains, American Standard, very difficult with that spiny looking, you know, coil. Very, very difficult to see the dye on that. Chances are it's on the evaporator coil. Just saying, calling a spade a spade. However, you know, we have that line set buried inside the exterior wall going up to the attic. There's a possibility that the leak may be there. There's at least probably a couple connections, you know, inside the wall that we won't see. You know, a pinhole leak in the copper is rare, but it happens. So 5 pounds of R410A. I put in a quarter amount of the of a vial, you know, the tube for the ultraviolet dye. You know, I have that disclaimer. I made her read it, you know, and please sign. Again, there's too many lawyers out there. You know, I don't want to be said, you know, I don't want to hear that, hey, Mikey Pipes, you didn't tell me, you know, or I thought it was going to go away. No, you know, that's one of the reasons why I also video a lot of my service calls, just to document. But also I can go back and reference, you know, if I need to reference a model serial number in case I didn't write it down or anything like that. Like in this particular video with this American Standard system, it literally took almost 10 minutes before the low and high side pressures equalized after I killed the disconnect. And maybe something wrong with the metering device, maybe there's a restriction there, but once she was properly charged up, you know, I had a little over 10 degrees of subcooling, so we're good. The first service call, gave the guy the evaporator coil no rinse spray, has a lemony scent to it. And again, I took a look at the blow wheel inside of it, had a little bit of dirt on it, but let's try this first. Second service call, just preventative maintenance, found a weak air handler blower run capacitor. We replaced that. His system was undercharged. He decided to, let's wait and see what happens. It's all good, I respect that, you know. And in this service call, with the American standard 3-ton system, undercharged 5 pounds. That's more than half the system charge. And I already know you guys are going to say, Mikey Pipes, what are you doing? Should be doing this. But you have to understand that, A, it's considered a small system per EPA. And listen, if I'm wrong, and if you need 5 pounds and it's in the EPA, guidelines that I should be doing that, make me aware, because I didn't get the memo. So, and like I said, a lot of my customers want instant gratification. They want to find the leak, but it can become time consuming. And, unless you add like ultraviolet dye to an older system, which I would never, ever, ever think about putting into a fairly newer system, anything like under maybe 6 years old, it shouldn't be there, but it's a great aid in helping locating a leak or leaks, and they're generally in the evaporator coil. And unpublished, I have a Navian system that the other mic went to, and I did kind of like a rough test. We drilled a hole in the front cover, stuck my Testo 320 combustion analyzer. I stuck the probe in there, and I had 1 particle per million of CO. 1 particle per million. And of course, it failed the soapy bubble test on the burner gasket all over, by the way, and the burner gasket as well. The exhaust packing ring had the ring around the collar. If you want to see that video, I'm going to release it soon. If you want to see that video, join the WhatsApp group, the official Mikey Pipes WhatsApp group, and the link will be in there. So the link for that WhatsApp group is down in the description box down below. One of the subscribers mentioned that maybe I should start a Discord. I have no time to figure this stuff out. I love technology, as you guys know, but if someone would like to take the initiative and set up a Discord server for me and give me a step-by-step instruction over the phone on how I can set up the app on my phone, that way we can have conversations and share and collaborate thoughts and ideas. 50% of my subscribers are in the HVAC industry, and I would love nothing more than we can all grow from one another. Every day we learn something new, and if we can learn from one another, it makes us that much better as professionals in our industry. And the other 50%, DIY guys. It's all good. If I could save you, a few $100 by you diagnosing your own bad run capacitor, by all means, please, I encourage you to do that. I would love nothing better than having a mechanically inclined client, homeowner, take the initiative, figure that out, and get the job done by themselves. And the reason why I want to reinforce that is because when something major goes wrong, they're going to call me. And I'll get the system replacement, or I'll get the leak detection service call, or the compressor bad, or the condensing fan motor. It's like changing a flapper in your toilet. All homeowners should really know how to change a flapper in your toilet. Just calling a spade a spade. If you don't know how to change a flapper in your toilet, I got videos on that, and it's really not that hard. Yes, you're going to get your hands a little wet and maybe a little dirty, but you're going to save yourself some money. The joys of home ownership. If I can save you some money, like switching your car insurance to Geico, give me 15 minutes and we're good to go. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you thumbs up, and if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe bell and check out my alternative YouTube channel called Navian Leaks. Thank you so much for watching. Be well. God bless. Have a great day.